Hello everyone, and welcome to LostinTranslationmon. This week we're covering Digimon Adventure 2020, Episode 7, That Man, Joe Kiddo, and I'm going with that translation because the subtitles gave the translation of That Boy is Joe Kiddo, but it's
not good.
It doesn't say boy, it definitely says man.
Yep.
So I'm going to go with That Man. Also, calling him a man is I just love it, so I'm going with that translation, And I'm going with the literal translation for next episode too, so heads up on that, and I'm sorry. I'm not going with the subtitle translations because I don't know. I'm not. Anyway, I'm May, and I'm joined by Quinn and Stevie.
Hello.
Oira, Quinn, da. I like Gomamon.
We all love Gomamon. We have the whole team is back for this week, which is good. I'm just keep on checking my own recording because I'm like it'll really suck if I'm the one that doesn't have the recording.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, but we're all here, we're all present, and that's good. And I guess with that we can move on to the synopsis. So the episode starts, and this is the best episode start of any episode in the entirety of history because Palmon and Mimi are sitting under like a leaf on a throne, and Palmon has made the group like tea and snacks, and this is the best thing ever.
I love Palmon and Mimi. Mimi's so good.
So good.
Tea is good.
And she has like Mimi's got a little mug, and everyone else has got little plastic cups, and everyone looks really happy with the tea, and Mimi's so like at home. And the thing I noticed is that the shot of Mimi like sipping her tea reminds me of the Kermit the Frog sipping tea. Like, well, that's none of my business.
You're not wrong.
Where did they get the tea sets from?
I want to believe that Mimi has them in the bag because I can't imagine anything else she has in the bag, so it's definitely just tea sets and plastic cups.
See, I want to believe that at least the plastic cups are from Sora.
Oh, I guess that would make sense. But her bag, like, she doesn't have like a bag anymore, does she?
They've definitely had her stop carrying it around, but I still think we just sort of assume that it's in a bag of holding or some such.
Yeah.
I like to think that Mimi's bag is a bag of holding, though.
Yes.
Leaf bag.
That's canon now.
Yeah, it's canon. It fits everything in there.
Also, my personal canon, my head canon, if you will. The bag is not made of leaves. It was just already in a really cool leaf pattern, and she brought that from home.
Or, my head canon is that it was just a regular bag, but she's wrapped it in leaves because she loves Palmon so much.
There are so many good options here.
Oh, no, I need a headcanon. It's made from the corpses of dead Palmon and Tanamon.
No. No, that's bad. That's not good. That's sad. I only want wholesome headcanons in my Digimon Adventure reboot.
Oh no, that's how she became queen.
By killing the previous Togemon.
She killed the strongest.
That's awful. We'll stop doing that.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
But also kind of badass that she would kill a Digimon. I mean, not cool, not like fun, but you know, you gotta appreciate that would make her pretty strong if she like beat up a Lilymon for it.
All right then, moving on.
Yep. Moving on from death. We finally have a character, and I'd love this whenever shows do this, when they point out, hey, we shouldn't be relaxing or like enjoying our time. We have like plot to happen. And this time it's Sora, and she's like, oh, we shouldn't be doing this when we have to do the plot of the show. And Mimi says, oh, come on, we can't rush this. My grandfather said that people who rush get less money. And like, this is fair. Like, you don't want to rush things. You want to, be relaxed. You want to have some time to recover between episodes. It can't just be go, go, go all the time. And I really do like this about Mimi. Like, it's still showing that she's a little bit like, but let's have tea and relax. She's still kind of a little bit, I'm trying to find a good word for it. It's not exactly selfish, but it's kind of like...
It was very clear that she got the throne.
Yeah, it was very clear that she still got the throne. She was still like, she still had the shade cloth. Everyone else was sitting on the floor. But I like this. I like Mimi.
I wish I had that energy.
Yeah. Mimi's got, as we mentioned last time, Mimi energy is good energy. It's like the anti-Karen energy.
Yep.
That is a bold statement.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to make my bold statements about children's TV shows.
It do be that way.
The group reaches the sea, and then Sora, Agumon, and Tai take off on Bergamon to explore, while Mimi again is chilling on the beach, just having her best life. And I'm all for this, to be honest.
Yep, I had to take a
Taichi
screenshot
points
of that.
out, yeah, of course. There's so many good screenshots, but all of them are Mimi.
Yes.
Because she's just so relaxed. I'm here for my daughter. I'm definitely here. I'm on board for my daughter. Anyway, so Tai and Sora see a whirlpool, and the whirlpool then proceeds to attack them, because of course it does. Sora falls to her death, and Bergamon is also brought down into the ocean, which is kind of like, I did not expect this to go badly. I thought they were just going to be attacked and then fly back. Like, I was actually surprised that, oh, what? They're going to actually fall into the ocean? Okay.
Yeah, that is a change. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Like, usually it's just like they get away just in time, but no, not in this series, apparently.
Nope.
And once again, Piomon is unconscious, which seems to be kind of like her thing. I mean, it's the second time it's happened, but it's still like...
I think we need a running tally,
surprising
though.
that... Yeah. Well, okay, Piomon body count 2. Piomon evolves to Leomon later. And so Gessamon appears and still attacks them and chases them, but thankfully Gomamon is here to rescue them, and he uses his marching fishes, and it's great because Gomamon's great.
Gomamon is wonderful, and I really like the new voice acting for him, because he's very good, and I love the accent, and it's so good.
He's Boruto though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little bit Boruto.
Yeah, man, I love Boruto's dad's son, Gomamon.
I hate you right now.
No, I'm fairly certain it's the same voice actor.
I could believe that. In any event, I still like the accent.
You can believe it?
No.
You can say you believe it?
Boo.
I don't get it.
It's the Naruto. They have a thing where they say, believe it!
I thought that was
Only
Parappa the
Ninja.
Rapper's thing.
Maybe Naruto is Parappa the Rapper.
It's all coming together.
And Gomamon is Parappa the Rapper, because they're both good dogs. There we are. Full circle.
We made it. Anyway, yes.
I think he's a dog anyway.
Well, so the connection that I had while I was watching this was that I now consistently translate Gomamon in my head as Applejack from My Little Pony.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's my special
none of
skill,
that.
marching fishes.
Oh no. Don't do that to me.
I'm not wrong.
Okay, I need to get your opinions though. Can fish march? They don't have
These
legs.
ones can.
I'll allow
Yeah, but
it.
if they're swimming, I'll allow them, because they're special fishes and they're colourful.
Normal fish cannot. These ones can.
Okay.
Well, they're definitely not Apriling fishes.
Wow.
Get it?
Just wow.
We doing
Yeah.
a lot of that today, huh?
I had to. Yeah, that's just me. I'm just wow today, apparently. I guess that's what it's like when I have a day of annual leave on a Monday. I'm just like, yeah, make the dumb jokes.
Well,
Woo!
I have Monday and Tuesday on annual leave, so I'm
Nice.
doing better.
That's good. Everyone should have a day of annual leave. Just like, even if you're working from home right now and you can just take it easy, I'd recommend just taking a day of annual leave and just, making some dumb jokes that will make your friends go,
Yeah.
oh no. I recommend it. That's my
Here
life
I'm stuck
advice.
going to work tomorrow.
No.
Stupid America.
Stupid America. Anyway, so the group returns to the beach, and Mimi and Palmon approach them because they've just been chilling on the beach the whole time, which is just so good. That's just what they should be doing. Mm-hmm. Like, Mimi has misheard a phrase, and she just thought that it was just life's a beach, and she's just doing it. She's like, well, that's a phrase. Now I have to just chill on the beach.
I did enjoy the beach music.
So, yeah. She's just having a holiday. Like, and I'm there for that, honestly. Like, she's here for a holiday. That's what this is. And I'm kind of fine with her just being a little bit, like, dim in that regards. Like, she thinks, oh, it's holiday. Beach. I love it. Anyway, she's a good daughter. Anyway, Gomamon says that the Digimon was Gessamon, which I've recently learned is Japanese for trash, I'm pretty sure. So he's just Trashmon.
Ah.
Or rubbish or something that's gross.
Yeah, I forget the exact, but yeah.
Yeah, it's something just like miscellaneous, disgusting sludge rubbish thing. Like, you can say that somebody is a gesso.
But
Like, just gross.
so then, where does Rarebon come from?
I don't actually know.
That's a
I always
very
thought it
good
was
question.
rare, as in like if something's like kind of if something smells rare, it's kind of gross. But like, I'm not sure about the Japanese translation.
Come quick, my garbage is undercooked.
Oh no. Gomamon says it's Gessamon, and he attacks whenever someone tries to cross the water, which is just like, I'm kind of glad that they gave him a reason for attacking. He's not evil or anything. He just
just
is
a jerk.
territorial. And because of that, he needs to die, apparently.
I mean, it be that way sometimes.
Mm.
He did have kind of a, evil whirlpool with red light shining out of it.
Yeah, but that might just be him.
That could be.
Like, he's just a monster. Some Digimon are smart. This one, just a monster.
Yeah.
Same with people.
All Digimon are monsters. It's in the name.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but some are monsterier.
That's true. I think the ones who don't talk were just supposed to accept our okay to, kill whenever.
Yeah.
They're double monsters.
Which was always funny. When we moved to 02, it's always like, we mustn't kill Digimon, and then the 1999 series had them just killing Digimon left and right.
Right? Although a lower body
Anyway.
count than you'd think, because anytime there was a black gear or whatever involved, they pretty much always survived. Except
Oh
for
yeah,
Gomamon.
Black Gears made it a lot easier to not kill them. But in the first couple of episodes, every Digimon that they saw that didn't have a black gear was
It's true.
like Kuwagamon didn't survive. Shelmon I don't think survives. Seedramon I'm pretty sure drowned.
Well, Shelmon got team rocketed.
Oh, he might have come back at the
Yeah,
end, and they beat
Shelmon
him.
came back later with the life ring.
That's
But
true.
I'm not sure if that was a real one.
Yeah.
Like the same one rather.
It's
Anyway.
probably
Because
the
it's
same.
been like 1,000 years. Anyway, so, yeah. Gomamon introduces himself as Gomamon, and he's adorable, but he just seems a little bit chunkier than the original version, and I guess that makes sense because, he's a seal.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're literally meant to be chunky because they need the fat to keep warm.
Yep.
On this tropical beach. It's real cold.
Yeah, but he's a seal. I love him though.
He's a good boy.
He's too good.
Yeah.
I'm stealing
Well,
him.
he's always been this good.
You
True.
throw his...
Gomamon's always been good.
I guess what
Are
I'm
you
saying
throwing
is
shade
Joe
at
has gotten
current Joe?
worse.
How has Joe gotten worse?
I think Joe's gotten better.
I agree.
I think
Like, more realistic.
I think Joe started out in the same place he was in Try, where he just can't deal with Digimon because test coming, and that's
I
kind
kind of like
up.
it though, because he's the most not okay with the predicament they're in. He's like,
That's
I've got
fair.
life to have, and also I'm so stressed because everyone's putting the entire weight of the world on my shoulders, so I can be a doctor because the entirety of my family's a doctor. Also, I have rivals now, so I have to compete to get into good schools, and I'm kind of here for this because we didn't hear much of him being stressed in the original series until like the end of the series, but now we're getting just him being like anxious because he's a child, but he expects to be doing so much because even despite him being a child, it's just, I don't know. I mean, he's worse in terms of he's a little bit annoying because he's like, nope, not going to help you. But he's better in terms of being realistic for a character.
A little bit, although, I mean, in fairness, they really should have just explained about how there's time compression and literally nothing you do here matters, as long as you get
but-
Yeah.
just throwing that
But the
out
smart character's not there. I think Sora has been the smart character at the moment because Tai is a little bit... Tai's like not super smart.
there. Yeah, although, honestly,
he's a little
Mimi,
bit dim.
kind of the smart character right now.
Yeah, Mimi's the smart one, but I think she's just thinking about being on the beach. Like, I think that's just what...
They did,
And-
literally write her out of this episode.
Until the end, and I'm fine with
She
that.
was involved. Her cactus punched
She
the
gets-
squid and everything.
That's true.
Palmon gets an evolution,
I wasn't
like,
really
sequence.
Yeah, although girls really not. I'm beginning to agree with people. The girls are kind of getting shafted here. Agumon still gets his really cool one. Everybody else, they skipped Berdramon's completely, which was fine.
Yeah, well, people are getting really annoyed about Bergermon, but they were getting annoyed about it last week, and now I'm just kind of like, oh, we're not seeing her evolve as often as the other characters.
Yeah, and I don't know, the Togemon one and now Ikakumon both felt very COVID budget.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
but I mean, Palmon was still good.
That's fair.
I always just like Palmon, though.
I mean, yeah, it was fine. I just meant like today's, which was just the screen kind of flashes green for a moment, and then we're there.
Yeah. I mean, I like when they're shorter, but I don't know why Agumon gets a full evolution each time.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I get that.
My guess,
So,
I
Gomamon-
have a guess, which is probably
Yeah.
they're going to be going through a whole super fancy Digivolution for Agumon to get to the later stages, like quite often.
Ah, okay.
So maybe that'll be included a lot.
Yeah.
So they're like, oh, we'll put tons of budget into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. But also, I just want my girls to get more love.
Right?
Like my precious little daughters, I need to
Yeah.
have more So, yep, Gomamon knows that the group are the chosen children and says that he has a partner human too, and kind of looks a little bit sad about it. So Sora says, oh, it must be another child to join us. And Gomamon says that it was meant to be that way. So we're immediately known like, oh, something's going on with Joe. Is he not here? Is he dead? He's not dead, but could you imagine?
Joe
Meanwhile,
Kidetto.
we see... No, don't. I'm meant to be the one making the bad jokes. No.
You did just
But anyway.
spend a minute telling us that we should do this.
Pretty much.
Yeah, good point. And I'm impressed. That was bad, though. And I think that's the point. You're meant to make a joke that makes me go, no. So you succeed.
Yay.
So, Quinn, you're still under review. Step it up. Back to the episode, we see that Hikari and Taichi's mother are watching a news broadcast, and then the power sort of goes out, and we sort of have this time as a quick transition to Koshiro, and then we never see him again, because he's also watching the news broadcast, but...
By the way, these two characters
Koshiro
are still alive.
Yeah,
Yep.
by the way, Koshiro, Hikari, and Taichi's mother all still exist.
TK, however...
I don't know, I don't get the timey-wimey, but like at this point, because it seems to be happening at the same time, but we already know that it's not happening at the same, it shouldn't be happening at the same time, so I don't know how is...
I think another day had passed, and so we got like a minute's worth of new news, is what they were going for.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I think Koshiro's getting...
Yeah, I can see that.
Like, Koshiro's getting slightly different time stuff or something, because he's in between.
He should
He
be.
can he's hacking the gate.
Hacking to the gates.
I'm almost done with that show, and I'm having emotions. Anyway,
It's such a good
enough
series.
of shows that aren't.
Yeah.
It's such a good series, but my dog doesn't like it every time the phone vibrates in the show.
I don't know what show we're talking about.
Steins Gate,
Steins
the
Gate.
best sci-fi series.
I mean, Digimon is a good sci-fi series too.
Small fantasy adventure.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, yeah, Digimon Adventure. Okay, I guess it is an adventure. So we get to see what Joe's doing, and he's studying for his middle school entrance exam, because this is the most Joe thing ever. It's the most on brand we've ever seen Joe, and I'm all for it. He's just being Joe. Joe is just Joe. I could replace that entire line with Joe is being Joe.
Jojo.
Yeah.
Way to go. Way to Joe.
Okay, that was pretty
I
good.
can't believe I messed that up. Yeah. I messed it up though by saying way to go first, so way to Joe me.
Way to Joe Mimi.
So, yeah, I was about to say that, yeah. That's a good one.
We're not in the
Joe
movie.
realizes that Joe realizes that there are other humans, but he's disappointed that they're not adults. I'm like, wow, geez, Joe.
I think you mean other humans in the digital world specifically. He's met people before.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe he's just been studying his entire life. Joe says he wants to go home, which is just like...
Mood.
This is the first time I've seen someone who just really wants to go home and isn't on board with everything that's going on. Until now, all the characters have kind of been like, oh, okay, we're in the digital world? Sweet. I like holidays.
And
But
dinosaurs.
Joe is actually, like, not liking being here.
Get into the robot, Joe.
The group then explains Robot Joe. Joebot.
Okay, I mean, I was going for an Ava reference, but
Oh, okay, get in the Joebot.
yes. Sure.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the Cruel Angel's actual thesis, because he's a doctor.
Like,
Get it?
Thanks.
Anyway,
Thesis.
so the group... I'm sorry. The group explains to Joe that they have to see the Holy Digimon, and Taichi realizes that Koshiro is their senpai, and this is just, again, on brand with our Taichi that we know and love from this series, which is just, oh, I have to be polite to you now, or I'm your friend. He's so good.
Okay, mate, you're not wrong, but you said that Koshiro is the senpai?
Sorry,
He should be.
oh, I meant Joshiro. Why did I say Koshiro? He's literally the anti-senpai. He's the kohai.
No, Koshiro
no,
is the senpai. He's so smart.
He's the senpai in spirit, not in body.
Him small.
Him small. But anyway, so, Taichi realizes that Joe is the senpai. Thank you for the correction, because I don't know why I said Koshiro, but I guess I'm just thinking about Koshiro. Or maybe that's just my ship now. I ship Joshiro.
You know
Anyway,
what?
so-
Valid.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both super smart, and, well, I don't think Joe's actually smart.
No,
I think he's just
he's diligent.
told he has to be. Yeah.
He's
So we have two
studious.
examples of being intelligent. We have Koshiro, who is just a genius. I don't think we've ever seen him study. He's just smart, and then we have Joe who studies to be smart and has to study. So maybe Joe would hate Koshiro just a little bit, but he would never say it. But I just feel like he'd be a little bit jealous, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. And then I got to thinking about they say success is 2% intelligence and 99% hard work. But for me, it's 2%. I just, oh God, 0-2. Why did you do this to me?
What?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Ken talking about how he's the smartest person in the world when he's evil to the random
Ah.
reporter
Because
lady.
Ken just kind of does that.
Okay.
And he plays all the chess games while everyone else watches.
He can play one chess
thing.
game while everyone else watches.
That's
God,
a weird
I
thing.
forgot
I don't know why they did that.
Because it's
Anyway,
hilarious.
he's got the top score on Donkey Madness. Anyway, so Joe says he doesn't have the time to be a hero, basically, and then he loses his temper and says how he comes from a long line of doctors. We get some sort of like somewhat exposition, but only for his own personal plot, not to the actual plot. And he starts like punching the walls of this little hut that he's in. And he's saying that he's stressed out, he needs to be a doctor because everyone else in his family is a doctor and they'll be disappointed if he's not, and he has rivals that are getting ahead of him during this time where he's on this island. Of course, no one, as we mentioned before, cares to tell him about the time differences, but I guess they're kind of not the smart characters, if that makes sense. They're kind of like, they probably are more freaked out this guy's losing his mind.
Yeah.
And so he breaks the hut and it collapses. And then after, Gomamon approaches Joe, and Joe says to Gomamon that they can't be partners. And Joe says that what if they struggle, and is there any actual guarantee that they can get home? And then he says that he has to study, and Gomamon has to go with them. And Joe thinks that there's nothing that he could do even if he went with them, so he may as well just study. So Taichi and the others end up coming up with a plan to lure Gomamon out, and says that Pyramon should stay and recover on the beach. And then Gomamon approaches them and says how he can be the bait, and that Joe has too much going on to help out and he's really struggling, so he can't join them. And Gomamon will basically do his best on Joe's behalf as well as his own, and Gomamon is just being the best ever.
Yeah.
And Joe is watching the group from behind a boulder, which is creepy.
Joe's creepy,
Yeah.
not the boulder.
Yeah. Yeah, the boulder's got like an angry face on it. It's the Digicorts from Young Hunters, where it's just a rock. Anyway, Gomamon is luring Gomamon as per the plan, and Joe is still watching from behind the creepy boulder. Gomamon attacks Gomamon, and Joe runs to help. Gomamon is on the seashore, and Gomamon also appears at the shore, and Joe flees with Gomamon, and Agumon evolves to Greymon in his stock animation, and Palmon gets a very quick magical girl animation, which, like, I don't mind. Like, I'm glad that we still got some animation for her. It still looks kind of cool, and it's actually pretty well animated, I think. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed the first time, and then this one was all right, but coming immediately after Agumon got the massive budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I don't know why we get him with this full animation, and
That's what I
it just... I mean, I actually prefer the quick ones. I don't like the stock footage ones.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a
But-
really weird choice, and I'm wondering if it isn't because that's the only one they finished before going off the air.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that would make sense.
I would like if they
That's
stick.
why they kind of get
yeah. I want them to stick with the shorter
Yeah.
ones just because it means we get more episode.
That's fair.
Yeah, like I'm always fine with the shorter ones, but yeah, it is a bit of a weird thing to have Greymon, and then we get a very quick animation that looks completely different. It just sort of stands out as being different.
I'll be curious
the
to
big
see
flashy
if Matt
Digivolution.
gets that too.
Yeah. Well, people saying we already see Matt's evolution. Like, people are saying, oh, how can we get Ty and Matt to evolve but not on the other characters? And I don't think we have seen Gabumon evolve to Greymon.
No, we've not even seen Gabumon. We've only seen
I
Gurumon.
think it is possible that people are talking about Omegamon being an evolution, but people are just straight up saying that Matt is being favoured too. I'm like, Matt hasn't appeared for like 5 episodes.
Matt's
Yeah.
being favoured in that he's in the outro scene, like the outro
That
credits.
is
Yeah.
true. He is the outro, and there's
I
that
still
really
don't
cute
understand
cell phone
why.
Picture. I don't know. It's a
Oh yeah,
weird
'Cause
choice.
Matt-
like the outro's really cute.
Matt is the night to Ty's day.
I get that.
No
I like
homo.
that. No, all the well, homo later, not when they're 10-year-olds.
That's fair.
One day homo. Back to the episode, Gomamon says that he was waiting for Joe for a long time. While Greymon and Togemon fight Gomamon, Togemon is pulled underwater and Greymon is grabbed by a tentacle. Meanwhile, Gomamon says how happy he was when he first met Joe, and he was waiting to see he was always waiting for him, and he was excited to see what type of person that Joe would be. Then we get a flashback which shows Gomamon looking after Joe, and Joe then asks Gomamon if he was disappointed to be partnered with a human like him, and Gomamon says he wasn't at all disappointed. Gomamon said that they have to fight together and it'll be alright because they're together, and Joe says he wouldn't be able to even study if it wasn't for Gomamon and if he was just alone. And then Joe says that he's about to say that Gomamon is his partner, but he ends up saying, "I'm your partner" instead, and I really love this moment. It's so
that was
cute.
A good boy.
They are good.
He's the best boy. And then, of course, this makes his Digivice glow, and Gomamon evolves to a Kakamon. And I'm loving Be the Winner. I've had it in my head for like 24 hours.
God, same.
It just gets stuck in my head.
I've had it in my head
good.
since last week.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's probably more accurate. I probably have had it in my head since then.
Quinn wins.
Now that I say
It's a
that,
good
though,
song.
it's immediately going to turn into Be the Biggest Dreamer.
Oh, mine did that, and also the opening sometimes becomes one of the Atmon openings for some reason,
yeah.
whenever it's in my head. I don't know why that happens, though.
Fair. What were you saying, Stevie?
Nothing.
Oh, okay.
I was saying that, no, just saying that Quinn wins because she remembered the song longer.
Quinn win.
Well, I mean, obviously.
Obviously. Anyway, Ikakumon, Greymon, and Togemon are able to defeat Gessamon together, which is kind of like all three of them had to fight one adult. But I guess maybe we're just not really talking about stages in this show, and maybe it's more like he's just stronger in terms of experience, and he's just been an adult for longer. Maybe he's just got more experience. I don't know. But they all three of them have to fight Gessamon.
It takes three of them because Gomamon is more adept in the water, whereas the others, a massive dinosaur and a cactus, which have legs and can't swim very well.
Yeah, but there's also Ikakumon, who is a giant fluffy seal.
Yeah, so then it
does
takes
seem like he
Ikakumon
should have been
to
able to just
come and turn the tides.
Yeah.
Tides.
I liked it. But in late adventure, when they were in the Miasmon arc, Ikakumon and Gessamon do fight, but I guess it's a more advanced Ikakumon rather. Anyway, after the battle, the group ride Ikakumon to the other island, so it's really convenient that they found the water guy when they needed to cross a large amount of water. And Joe tries to make a speech and then falls off Ikakumon into the water. Because, like, obviously, of course he does. He's Joe. That's just how that be.
At least he's not seasick this time, as far as
That's
we know.
true.
No, I didn't realise that.
That is
but you're
better.
right, he's not seasick. It is fairly flat, though.
I think we can
Like
wait
the
for
water.
the dub to make him seasick.
Oh, yes. And Mimi, too, because that happened in the dub once where they made a reference to that.
Plus, they're just
Maybe it was
not
her
going to
hair,
let
I can't
Mimi be
remember.
this great.
Yeah, no one's going to let Mimi be this great.
She was
What were your highlights,
Mimi.
Mimi? For every episode now, just Mimi.
A little
Oh,
bit.
no.
Like, she did kind of steal the show this time.
Yeah.
T.
Sorry, did Joe have a throne?
Tea is my highlight.
He was really
Tea.
cute.
I've not had a cup of tea today. I need one.
Tea. Well, I just woke up, so I'm probably going to have a tea at some point. That's sort of like
You thinking
my
gel
goal
or
for
shot?
the day is to have a tea.
Sorry, I just thought LostinTranslationmon.
That's good.
It's so bad, I love it.
That's really good.
I just wanted
No,
to make a
that's
trans joke,
fantastic.
but
That's not
good.
bad at all. That's great. That's good. Any other highlights?
I like Joe smashing up this hut just because he's so
Yeah.
stressed and has to let it out somewhere, because that is relatable.
I was a little concerned that no one tried to stop
Yeah.
him bashing his head.
Yeah, like I actually really did. I like that's probably my highlight as well. Even though it was an emotional moment, I actually really like the fact that he's stressing out because it makes him seem more like an actual person and not just like some weird character who's okay with everything. But yeah, it makes me sad, but I liked it because I don't think we got him being stressed out and feeling under this much pressure until like the end of the original series, right?
I don't think we really got it till like Digimon Adventure Try.
Yeah.
We had it
came up a
in the
little bit,
Miasmon arc
but-
just a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was mentioned a few times, but it was never really a major deal.
Yeah, and like near the end of the original adventure, he just sort of goes off with Mimi, doesn't he?
And he has the episode called Joe's Battle in English, but it's actually just the girls' battle in the Japanese version.
It's because Joe is a girl. We solved it.
Yeah. Canon.
What?
Any other highlights?
Joe studies so much to hide the fact that he's struggling with his gender identity.
I mean, that's a big
Oh,
old
distraction.
Joe. That Joe, baby. Baby Joe. Poor Joe.
But what if Joe
Yeah,
was trans?
that was basically me at 11.
So everyone is like, people already said, oh, I ended up becoming Joe, but now it's just like, oh, everyone did end up becoming Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because Joe's grown up and people grow up.
Yeah, poor Joe.
I'm trying to think if I
But
know
yeah,
more than two straight Digimon fans.
Why are there so many? Like, why haven't I think I've met a couple, but I feel like the majority of them aren't straight.
Digimon's for the misfits.
That's true.
You say misfit, I say
Misfit.
Haha.
yeah.
I don't know what you're actually going
Any
to
other
say, but I
highlights?
like mine.
I had something that I forgot it immediately because I'm still very tired. So any other highlights?
The time this week I busted out laughing when a student sent an email to Mrs. Quinn.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm like, you're 18, but okay.
Okay, highlights.
I meant highlights for the episode, but that is
I
a
mean,
good highlight.
It was enough of a highlight I wanted to share it.
That's fair. That's fair.
But let's see, from the episode, Joe being a really good boy at the end, and the I'm your partner, that got me.
Yeah, that definitely got me. That was like my two highlights were primarily Joe and Gomamon based. Him losing it, but also him saying I'm your partner, Gomamon, was a really nice sort of change from you're my partner. And Gomamon is just amazing, and I've always liked the dynamic between Joe and Gomamon.
Mm-hmm.
And I do really like Gomamon. I like how he's like this feisty little dog seal.
We even, as a nice, like, I actually thought this was a good little callback, we used marching fishes as a raft.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Which is good.
it's not
And
really
also
good for much
useful.
else.
I mean, we've called extraplanar fish into a surprising number of things over the course of the many incarnations of adventure.
I remember.
Any other highlights? Are we ready for lowlights?
Oh no, I have another highlight.
Oh yeah.
I'm really enjoying like the sort of strategy that's coming with battles, where they're like sitting
Yes.
down and planning things out, and it just makes the battles so much more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially like last episode where we had Mimi, who was somewhat of a tactical genius for an episode. And I do like the fact that battles should be strategies, and I don't think we really saw that much in the original adventure.
Yeah, but now they're like thinking about, oh, we can get the advantage over here, or we need to alert them over. It's just a lot more thought into it instead of just Digivolve, Nova Blast, we won, yay!
Yeah, it was always very like who can attack with the bigger attack.
Who can do more evolution?
Yeah. Any other highlights or lowlights? Time.
I like Joe being stressed. I like Joe not necessarily wanting to go into the fight. That being said, being specifically worried about school annoyed me a little bit. Like,
He's got his priorities not quite right, but at least he's not okay with the idea of having to save the world. He's still very like, why me? Why does it have to be me?
yeah, so yeah, I was a little disappointed that it was specifically about school and not just, no, I have a whole ass life to live that doesn't involve being a child soldier.
I think he was just burying his head in his studies to try and pretend that he had
a
some
coping
control
mechanism.
over something.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
So you ready for lowlights?
Oh, that was a low light for me.
Okay.
More like Joe lights.
Joe lights. Yeah.
We
I
got the
think that,
Joe-mentum.
I didn't like the fact that we went from an animated stock footage evolution to a pretty animated quick one. It feels out of place to just have a random one that just doesn't fit the theme of the quick animations. It just seems like a little bit out of place, and I would have preferred that even if they had to reuse the evolution that we had in the first episode of Agumon to Greymon, which is just that the body horror one, even if they had to reuse that as stock animation, I feel like that would have fitted better.
Yeah.
In terms of the length compared to Palmon to Togemon, which was a couple of seconds. It feels weird, but other than that, I can't actually think of many lowlights for this episode. Like, it's just sort of, it's still with the same formula as meet character, get evolution, but that's fine. I don't really mind that.
At least it's quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am surprised that we still have so many of the characters not around. It sounds like they'll finally all be in one place next week, so that's hopefully going to be an improvement.
Or
Well, 6 of
at
them.
least Matt.
I think Matt and Koshiro are gonna join them.
They mentioned in the ending, like, next week thing, the 6 chosen children, so I'm assuming...
Yeah. I'm assuming they're all 6 of them.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm assuming no TK then.
Yeah, I'm assuming TK and Kari come in Act 2 with their really super strong evolutions. I think I mentioned this a couple of episodes ago when we were talking about the lore, but I think that Tailmon and Patamon are both already fully evolved still and still have their memories of the old times.
That would be me.
So
Yeah.
I think that they're just going to be fully evolved. So we're probably not going to see them until we at least get to perfect or higher, because otherwise we'll just have these fully evolved Digimon hanging out with the babies.
But Patamon's in the intro.
We're gonna have Serafimon die again, aren't we?
Yeah, and probably a Ophanimon die too.
Yeah.
And then people who like the Holy Dramon and people who like the Ophanimon evolutions will, like with Tri, have both. And that's fine, because no one can complain if both evolutions happen.
Fair enough.
So we get Ophanimon being the original Tailmon, and then she dies and then is reborn, and then her evolution is then Holy Dramon.
I want TKs to, when inevitably Serafimon dies, when Poyomon comes back, we should just get a completely different evolution line.
Yeah. I want him to evolve to Godramon instead of Serafimon, because that was Godramon debuted like a couple of months before Serafimon, and was always who I thought would be the fully evolved form of Patamon, and it's just a gold bloke version of Holy Dramon.
Yeah.
I like it. Anyway, we don't really seem to have many lowlights, and I know we've sort of discussed it throughout the episode, but what about this episode compared to the original series?
Oh, I did have one more low light, which is
Oh, yes?
just Gomamon's Digivolution sequence felt a bit
Oh, I liked it.
but like the pause when they grow out, they just seem to flip it and do it again. That was a bit boring.
Oh, yeah. I still liked it, but I also just really like Digimon.
Really?
Yeah, you wouldn't have guessed,
this
would
is
you?
brand new information.
I did not
It's
know
brand
that
new
about you.
information. It's the newest. Yeah, I just came out as a Digimon fan.
Wow, congratulations.
I came out of the Digiportal.
We should call you Taichi because you clearly have the
Digigate.
crest of courage to come out like that.
Yeah, it's a bold statement, I know. Anyway, any comparisons to the original series?
I think it's better than when Joe just went off on his own to climb a mountain, which was very irresponsible.
That's
Yeah, it was
true.
very irresponsible, and it was also kind of... I mean, I get the idea, like, oh, he didn't want the others to fight about it anymore, so he went instead, but it just seems very sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, no, I see a point there. I do like the original Gomamon to Ikakumon episode.
But I think this is also better because it's in Ikakumon's element instead of just being on the side of a cliff.
Sort of mountain, sort of mountain seal. But the other thing is, I like how Joe is also just stressed out in the 1999 episode. He was just kind of annoyed about jelly beans being on eggs and just being annoyed that people were fighting. But in this episode, he's actually stressed out about all the pressure that's been put on him.
I still want to know who built that hut. Because if it was Gomamon,
I
that's
think
very
Gomamon.
impressive.
Yeah. I'm thinking it was a combination of Joe and Gomamon. That seems like...
Jomamon.
Like, Joe was
Yeah.
unconscious in the flashback when Gomamon, brought him back to the hut.
That's
I think
true.
it was
I think
Gomamon.
Gomamon maybe just
I-
lived there.
Yeah.
Because I think that was also what Joe was talking about. Like, he wouldn't be able to study if it was just him. Like, Gomamon probably gave him everything he needed to study, like snacks and the whole setup. Also, I'm really glad that Joe clearly brought his books with him from wherever he was.
I bet Joe was in the library.
Yeah, he was probably already studying, and he probably just felt like he was leaving, so he just grabbed all his books at the same time, like, I'm taking you with me. That's so Joe.
Oh, yes.
Any other comparisons?
Gomamon feels like the least personality change so far.
Yeah, Gomamon's still... Oh, Palmon's still Palmon.
I don't know. The whole butler thing is at least a stylistic choice.
Or something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did not actually expect them to keep up the butler shtick, but they did, and it's great. I love it.
It's great. I'm very much all for this, like, butler Palmon. She's just, like, such a good butler.
She's
Yeah.
so good.
Anything else? No?
No. Nope. Cannot think of anything else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll move on to favourite character. Who's the favourite character?
Well, I'm going to say Joe, even though you two will undoubtedly say Mimi.
I'm gonna go with Gomamon.
I went with Gomamon.
I
Wow.
was tempted for Mimi. Mimi gets a real important mention, but
Yeah, Mimi always gets an important mention, but yeah, I definitely said, like, it was either Joe or Gomamon, but it was definitely Gomamon for me.
What? I guess it's personal preference, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'd prefer Joe.
That's fair. Joe is a reasonable choice, and so is Gomamon. They're both reasonable. Yeah, I'm choosing Gomamon.
Joe Mamon.
What about Gomamon? Joe Gomamon. That one worked a little less. Or Go Mamon.
Pokemon Go
Get up
Mamon.
and go Mamon. Yeah. What about rating for this episode? Because I struggled. My rating like flip-flopped constantly from like the moment I watched it to like this morning. Even it changed again.
I'm thinking like
I gave it a 4.
yeah, I'm thinking like 3.5.
yeah.
That's fair. Like I would say 3.5 is a good is a fair enough rating for it.
Yeah.
And then Quinn?
Yeah, I'm gonna agree on 3.5. It was... I did not enjoy it as much as Mimi, but I didn't really expect to. But it was still good.
Yeah. And for ranking, I have put it in, I think, 4th place. So my ranking goes from top to bottom 6, 5, 1, 7, which is this episode, 4, 2, and 3. And what about y'all? We'll do Stevie first. Stevie, your current rating is from top to bottom is episode 1, episode 6, episode 2, episode 3, episode 5, and episode 4. So where would 7 live?
I'd probably put it 4th as well.
Okay, and Quinn?
Can you remind me of mine?
Yours is... yeah, I'm just about... episode 6 is the top one, episode 5, I've messed up here, I've put episode 5 twice. So I think... Did you prefer episode 1 or episode 5? Episode 1, right?
Probably episode 1. Remind me which one was 5.
Episode 5... So episode 6 was... Mimi. Episode 1 was the first episode, obviously. Episode 5 was the Holy Digimon when we got the lore.
Oh,
Episode 2 was War Game.
Yeah.
Episode 3 was And to the Digital World, where they go to the digital world, but only in the last minute. Episode 4 was your least favourite, which was Bergramon Soars. Where would episode 7 live?
I think I'm gonna put it in 3rd. 6175234.
6175234. Yep, that's reasonable. So we all fairly we're okay with this. We liked this episode. Is basically this is the first time we've agreed for we both agreed on the episode 6, but we've not agreed since the first episode basically. So I think this is the most in agreement we've been for since the first episode basically, which is fair. Any other thoughts about how these episodes are tracking along?
I think ranking's going to be really hard when we've got 50 of them.
Yeah, I mean, somehow I managed for Atmon, but it did get very hard towards the end.
As long as we don't have to read out the whole 40 number streak every time.
Yeah, I mean, next time I will send it. I was meant to send it this morning before, but I did not send it to everyone before the recording. Are we ready to move on to questions?
There are questions?
Yes. Well, questions and general thoughts. And one was not in English again. I'm happy.
Yay!
So, first on YouTube, Hilary says, 1, I'm offended that you did not address her as Queen, as Her Majesty Queen Mimi of the House Tachikawa, the first of her name, heiress of Tachikawa Industries, Lady of Sincerity or Purity, Protector of Tanemon and Pumpkins, Slayer of Bara Dromogimon and Pals of Palmon. The disrespect, how dare you?
Okay. This person listens to the magic, Hello from the Magic Tavern, right?
Yeah.
I have Usador, Wizard of the 12th Realm of Ephesius, Master of Light and Shadow, Manipulator of Magical Delights, Devourer of Chaos, Champion of the Great Halls of Tarakas. The elves know me as Fiangelic, the dwarves know me as Zonin Hoopstanges, and I am known in the Northwest as Gaswanius Maystar. And then there may be other secret names of which you do not know.
Did you do that from
Alright.
from just knowledge or memory?
That's from memory. It's from another podcast.
Wow. Okay. So point 2, I wonder how her grandfather will fit in this. Is he part of the group that created Digimon? And this is an interesting thought. I didn't think about that, but I love that. Was the digital world an experiment of Tachikawa? Maybe Her Majesty was visiting her grandpa's workplace and got transported to the digital world. I like that. I hadn't thought about that, but I really like that the whole Wild Bunch sort of thing from Tamers, or even how Digimon was a computer game that Oikawa and Iori's dad were playing in 02. And next, Hilary says, I can't wait for Gomamon and to see how stressed this poor Joe is. Wow, he's very stressed
Very
is
stressed.
the answer. Also, still surprised that official merch call him Joe instead of Joe or Joe, as in Jyou or Jou. Maybe he is half some English-speaking country this time. Maybe. Next, we have Ray of Truth saying, and this is still on YouTube, this episode was such a relief. I was so scared of her changes, as in Mimi would pull an English dub Mimi, but she was immediately revealed as being the exact opposite, and I'm here for Queen Mimi. I agree.
Yep. Queen Mimi. All hail.
Next, we have... All hail Mimi. Next, we have RGV saying Bergamon rules, which is valid. Bergamon, I like. We still got Bergamon in episode 7 at least, so it wasn't that bad.
Bergamon's been pretty cooked
we
so
got
far.
some. Yeah. Then Suck634 on YouTube says, I was thinking yesterday, back in the days, Taichi and Matt were the ones most kids wanted to be and related to. They were adventurous, fearless, and curious about everything. But do you guys think that now, 20 years later, the views has changed on who kids relate to the most? Because most kids today are more like Izzy and Joe, I would say. Do you think the writers have considered this when doing the reboot of the series? Personally, back in the day, I did not really care much for Izzy, but in the reboot, he's my favourite of all the kids, even the ones not introduced yet. I feel I relate to him more, to be honest. And yeah, I would say that the writers might have said, oh, I guess in the original series that people wanted to be the main characters and they were definitely the ones with the most characters, like in terms of depth, I guess. But this reboot seems to have like all the characters be somewhat likable. But yeah.
I think.
But yeah, I definitely I wanted to be Tai.
I think I was probably a Matt kid just because I liked wolves.
Yeah.
But I've grown up into more like Izzy, Joe, and probably Mimi.
I think all of us have become a little bit like Izzy and Koshiro. Sorry, Izzy and Koshiro, same character. Koshiro and Joe, because they're the most like realistic.
Yeah, I kept being surprised when Joe wasn't wearing a mask.
Yeah, but maybe he thinks he doesn't need one in the digital world.
That's fair.
Next we have RAGDP, who has a comment in Spanish for us, which I have translated with Google Translate. So this is also on YouTube, so I will now read it. Again, this is just from Google Translate, so whatever is said, I'm sorry. Well, I do not speak Italian, but I will leave this in Spanish. H, as in the letter H. I honestly do not know where this series is going, if we will have a similar storyline, or if after introducing the characters, it will change the course 100%. But so far, I am really enjoying it. I really hope too much that Sora takes center stage and grows, and that he has a good relationship with Mimi. I'd like to point out that it was he in the pronoun used, and he has a good relationship with Mimi. Also, I wonder if the coronavirus is going to be pending because Mimi's grandfather has a mask on. Well, in any case, good luck with your translation. I really like your podcast. Bye-bye. That was a nice one. That made a lot more sense than the Italian one last time.
That's fair.
Which is cool. Yeah, I would say he's probably wearing a mask because he's working in a hospital and
just in general.
Japanese people wear masks a lot.
Yeah, I would be a little surprised if they actually mentioned Corona.
Yeah, I think that was just a coincidence, but it's fine. So yeah, thank you for the comment. I please, as I said, I wasn't joking. Please feel free to leave a comment in your native language because I just want to translate it to see. Sometimes Google Translate is really good. As I said, the translation randomly put an H at the end, of one of the sentences. I think it's because there were emojis in the post. I don't know. That just got translated as H. But yeah, the Italian one last time, I'm still not sure what was going on there. Next we have Alpha Maragi, who says, during calls, I just call Gaiden or side stories, or mid-calls, depending on the context. Yeah, I know. I think mid-quill is the technical term. I've just always said during quills for some reason since I was a kid, so it kind of just stuck. What do y'all call they're sequels, but they happen at the same time?
Sequels? What?
That's a fair question.
Spin-offs? Maybe?
I mean, there's a prequel and there's a sequel, and then what do you call the thing that is happening at the same time as the story.
I'm gonna steal from Fire Emblem Three Houses and call it a paralogue.
That's so good. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, you need to play Fire Emblem. It's really good.
I do. I have some of the 3DS games, but I've just not played them.
Oh, Three Houses is so good. I have put like 200 hours into that game.
Yeah, I want to play it. It's definitely on my to-play list.
I've put like 2 hours into that game. I'm too busy at the moment.
All I do is I play Hacker's Memory and eat KFC, and that's my life.
It sounds very
How
fulfilling.
will you know that Bernadetta's the best person in the world?
I will play then. I will play it.
Okay,
Okay,
good.
is that the one on the 3DS or the one on the
That's
the Switch?
Switch.
Okay, I do not have that one.
Okay, you should definitely get it. I will maybe send you mine.
My heart. And also the Switch isn't region locked, so that is fantastic. Yes. And our last comment on YouTube is from Azka L, who says, I like the old Mimi better, to BH. She complains a lot and hilariously is annoying, but brave and selfless when it comes down to it. And I agree. Also, it was funny and interesting to me that someone like her befriended disgusting Digimon such as Numon and Sukamon. I hope they still keep those aspects of her on the show for future episodes. And yeah, I think we will still be getting some original Mimi come through, like, she was still on a throne, she was still, like, she still wanted to relax on the beach.
She's honestly taking the
But,
queen
I
thing
did
more
like-
seriously.
Yeah,
She's just like actually
Still-
the queen instead of just
I like her.
bring me stuff.
She's had a promotion.
But I always do like her friendship with the poo monsters. Like, that was always something I was like, yeah, she doesn't seem like someone who would be, but she's just really nice.
I would like if her character moments didn't involve sentient pieces of poo.
Woof. That when you say it like that, doesn't sound good.
Yeah.
So, what did you do when you worked as a voice actor for Digimon? I played a sentient piece of poo.
Oh. And I was the mouse that was attached to the sentient piece of poo. Alright, everyone, thanks for listening. And you can join us next time for episode 8, The Children's Siege. This is just my reading of it, because I think it's like Senko-jo, which is like I think it's just like miscellaneous siege. But the subtitles gave it The Children's Attack on the Fortress, or The Children's Assault on the Fortress. But I'm just going to go with The Children's Siege as a heads up. Do we have any predictions about The Children's Siege, episode 8?
They're going to siege something.
And it may or may not be a fortress.
That's fair, that's fair.
Izzy's going to catch up. Matt
Finally,
will turn up.
He's gonna be edgy.
We'll have them all together.
I don't know what the siege is going to be for. Like, maybe they're
The
going to...
Holy Digimon, I guess?
Maybe they're going
it's gonna
to
be-
track
maybe
Gomamon
maybe
back
they're in
there?
a prison? Yeah, Ogumon didn't show up this episode, or Soundbirdmon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I assume more of that. Just general plot stuff. We'll probably see some more Devimon. Maybe they'll be in a
Yeah,
church with
probably.
8 beds.
Maybe. And there'll be 8 of them, and they'll be like, but there's only 6 of us. Why would you not just have 6 beds? And then plot, I don't know. Do you think we'll get perfect evolutions anytime soon?
Episode 13 would be my guess.
You're saying 13? Oh yeah, because I guess that was Patamon's evolution episode, and if we don't have Patamon...
That's pretty much the
yeah, I think
reason. It's just because, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels about the time you
mean-
start the second act.
Yeah, I mean, the next episode is definitely, I think it's going to be a Yamato episode, probably, because we haven't actually had a Yamato episode yet. We haven't actually seen what his relationship is with Gabumon. We haven't seen them evolve from... We haven't actually seen Gabumon yet at all, which is wild.
I'm going to make a prediction in that the siege is not going to go well, and then Matt is going to turn up on Garurumon to help. And then it will either go well, or it still won't, but Matt will help them retreat.
Yeah, and that'll be... That seems like... I feel like he's also going to show up, and it'll be like this dramatic moment when he shows up, like...
Oh, yeah.
I know he's in the shadows, and like, who's that over there? And it'll be like, it is I, Yamato.
It'll totally have,
Yeah,
like, the shot of, like, Garurumon at the top of a cliff or something before he jumps
it'll
down.
be something like edgy.
He's
Like, would you expect anything
Lightning
other
strikes.
than just edgy?
Oh,
Yamato?
God,
We
no.
need
He's gonna
lightning
roll in
strikes and
and-
thunderstorms.
Oh, yeah, that'd do it. But yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna roll in and treat Tai like his ex that he's pretending he's not still, really into.
In love with, yeah.
But no homo, though.
I can see that.
No homo,
No
man.
Jomo.
We had different jokes.
Any other predictions? Or are we ready to move on?
It is
No.
possible that we will see some feather imagery.
Ooh.
Yeah. Do you think we're going to see Omegamon again, or was that just a once-off because they were in a weird, like, digital
That's gotta
network
be a
place?
once-off.
Yeah, it'll be like.
Yeah, I think it should be a once-off.
I'm sure we'll see it
'Cause I
again
don't
by
even
the end
remember
of
it
the
happening.
series, but
Why are we calling it a once-off? They're called one-offs.
I think they're called both.
yeah.
I've never heard them called once-offs.
I have. I've heard both.
Calling
But
it
now
a
that you
once-off
say
is
it,
a
I
one-off.
don't have any idea.
It's like the one slur. I don't know. You don't just call them the one lur.
What?
Anyway, sorry, that was dumb. I'm ready to wrap up if nobody else has any thoughts or opinions or predictions.
Let's wrap this up. Let's wrap
Let's
this
wrap
up.
this up, yo. Let's wrap this up, yo. The Digivolution will not be stopped. Digimon play, Digimon rock. Remember the Digi things I say, and Digi save the day, Digimon. Yay. Okay, sorry, that was weird. Anyway, thanks for listening, and the link dump's linked in the description, and our Redbubble's also in the description, and you can get more than just there too. You can contact us and stay updated. You can email us at LostinTranslationmon@gmail.com, or you can comment on this episode on wherever you're listening to this episode. You can comment it on our website or on the YouTube, which is has now reached 1,000 subscribers, so YouTube is now reviewing me for monetization, so that's exciting. So keep on subscribing if you haven't already. And comment in your native language, and I will Google Translate it, and we'll see what happens. And we'll see if we get an H. So you can follow us on LostinTranslationmon on Twitter, and you can find us on LostinTranslationmon on Tumblr, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a discussion thread on With the Will, and a Red thread in Digimon subreddit. And we'd also appreciate any reviews, because I don't think we've got one for like 2 years on any podcast listening service that you listen to. Apple Podcasts, I think, is the one that has the reviews. A lot of some places don't. I think other like Castbox might, Player FM I think does, but I think it's mainly Apple Podcasts. But yeah, whatever. Review us if you can, and we'll do a reading of it, and who knows what will happen. And as I mentioned, we have a website, and there are blog posts and release schedules and miscellaneous things there. You can donate to our Patreon, which is in the description, from as little as $1 a month. And that gets you access to a listener Discord server, but there are higher levels for more rewards such as notes, early episodes, and more. And thank you to our supporters on Patreon: Joe, Anime Guy, who is Anime Guy Kurosaki1 on YouTube, Stephen Reeves, who is WildWing64 and Archive Our Own, Kaidawashi, Chisai, who you can follow on Why do I always mess this one up? Who you can follow on Tumblr at Chisai236, Kyle, Tom, Lismet, Elec, who is Elecmon on Tumblr, Nicholas, Metalmimon, Sam, Spiral, Keith from a computer podcast on the internet, Silverhead Freak 25, Magnus, and Lucas. And you can also make a one-off donation on our PayPal, which can be found in the description. It's paypal.me/Ergemon. And you can also donate to me on Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Erger. And Quinn and Stevie, where can people find you?
Pretty much everywhere. What did you say, Quinn?
In a Zoom classroom.
In a Zoom
classroom.
A Zoom classroom
And
near
the
you.
Moncast.
Yes, we're on the Moncast. Every week where I can be bothered editing. We talk about Pokemon and Digimon, and we have fun. And May is joining us
We
for
do have
Tamers,
fun.
which will start going out
Yay!
soon.
You should rename the podcast the Funcast, not the Moncast, the Funcast. Get it? Because it's fun.
It's true.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. What deal? Right? That wasn't a good one anyway. It's fine. I'll just cry.
It didn't even rhyme properly.
It's the Funcast, not the Moncast.
The bun.
Yeah,
the Buncast.
I'm not a rapper.
I'd call it the Buncast, if anything.
Yeah, because I guess Lotmon and Terriermon are in Tamers. But anyway, enough with me being silly and making my dumb jokes, and only half of them make sense. So yes, thank you for listening, everyone, and of course, thank you to Quinn and Stevie for joining me once again. And yeah, I hope you also are enjoying the new Digimon adventure, because so far I am.
It's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
It's alright.
All right. See you next time. Bye.
Bye.